everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with Tformers.com, your #1 news source for everything Transformers. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new released Transformers masterpiece MP28 Hot Rodimus, or as we know him better as Hot Rod. Now the figure comes packaged in the same style of packaging we've seen with all the masterpieces. You've got the box with the image of the figure in both robot and vehicle modes in the front. You've got the name of the character down below. He's listed as MP28 and the Cybertron Cavalier. And then on the back of the packaging we have images showing off the various accessories. You have him in his vehicle mode and standing next to the Ultra Magnus MP. And then a bunch of writing I really can't read. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at Hot Rod outside of the packaging along with the accessories he comes with. So first of all, when you take him out of the box, like we see with most Masterpiece Autobots, he is in his vehicle mode. He comes with a number of different accessories. He also comes with the little file card like we typically see with the Masterpieces. It's got some nice artwork for Hot Rod on the front in both robot and vehicle modes. And then on the back, it shows the toy in both robot and vehicle modes, has some writing that you can't really read, and some statistics down at the bottom. He also comes with the little instruction sheet like we typically see that shows you how to transform him and also shows you how to use all the accessories and everything. Now as far as the accessories go, we'll look at these in more detail when we have transformed him in his robot mode, since most of them are used for his robot mode. But he does come with the little saw blade like we see him use in Transformers the movie when he and Cup are underwater on the Sharkticon world and he's using it to cut vines. He also comes with this fishing pole that we see him use at the beginning of Transformers the movie when he's fishing with Daniel and waiting for the shuttle to arrive. And then finally he comes with two different pistols. Now I don't really know why he has two pistols. I don't recall him using two blasters in the show. Perhaps maybe the blaster changed over the course of the show, so they gave you both of them. I'm not really sure, but they do give you two different blasters with this toy. And you can use these in his vehicle mode, like we often see with the Autobots. You can put it on his roof. You can put both of them actually. So you want to make sure you push the handle of the gun down so that the smooth side is showing, and then you have these little spots on the back of his roof here that you can push down and secure the weapons on the top of his roof. So you can do both of them, so he has two weapons, which is kind of cool. This isn't really anything you ever see in the cartoon, but again, you often see them have this feature with the MP Autobots. Now, they've also given you a third place where if you pull back the engine block here, you got to make sure you pull it back far, you can put one of the guns on the front here if you'd rather just have one gun. So for the vehicle itself, we've got pretty nice detailing. You've got some vac metallized here on the side for the exhaust pipes on both sides. You've got the engine block, which also is with that plastic that is vac metallized, and you've got the little Hot Rod symbol, and this appears to be painted on, and you've got the orange with the yellow flame and the Autobot symbol, and that all looks really nice. And I like the headlights on this with the translucent yellow plastic, and then you've got some nice detailing, and then you also have the blue translucent plastic. Kind of looks like he's got seats on the inside, so that looks pretty good. You've got this big yellow fin on the back, which I always thought looked kind of silly, and it's just plastic. And you've got the orange pieces on the back as well. You've got most of the car is a maroon color, and you've got a little bit of darker maroon here in the middle. I don't remember if that's cartoon accurate or not, but definitely got a little bit of darker maroon here on these little pieces on the middle of the car. The wheels are thin plastic, and the car really doesn't roll very well. Looks like the legs stick down kind of, so it prevents the car from really rolling that good, which that's a little disappointing, but not that major of a deal. So Hot Rod in his vehicle mode measures about 5 3/4 inches in length, just a little bit under 6 inches, and height wise at his highest point with the fin is just a little bit over 1.5 inches. I'll give you a size comparison. Here's Hot Rod with the MP Sideswipe, and you can see they're pretty close to the same size. Hot Rod is maybe a little bit longer, but again, they're pretty close to about the same size. I'm going to attempt to walk you through the transformation on this one, but real quick, I just wanted to note that he's got these little panels that kind of pop up on the back here. This, I think, is more for his robot mode. I think this kind of serves as a jetpack or something on his robot mode, but it also kind of works in his vehicle mode. You can kind of just push up on the legs here, and they'll kind of pop up, and it gives it maybe like extra thrust in his car mode as well. Okay, so to transform him, you want to start off by grabbing this side piece here, which is part of his arm, and you can see it's attached to this the upper part of the car. So you just kind of want to pull it down. You can see there's the little tab and the little hole here, and you want to do that on both sides. And then you can just kind of bend the arm or the elbow so that they're kind of facing forward. Now this differs from the actual instructions, but I found it's kind of easier if you then go on and take the legs and kind of pull them out. Basically what you want to do is first pull them apart, and then they've got these pieces on the back, and you want to just open them up, and then you can basically, once you open that, you can kind of pull the leg down and fully form the leg, and then you want to just close them back up. So do that for both legs. And you want to make sure when you close it back up that you're hooking into this little piece here. So now you've got a little more freedom with the front chest piece here. So now you can, this chest piece kind of opens up, and you can push the head around so that now the head is showing, and then you can close this back up. And you actually also, what you want to do before you do that actually is adjust the arms. So you kind of move the arms, and then you want to fold these pieces down here, and then you can go on and move the arms so that they kind of, basically you want to move the arms over the wheel essentially, and then turn the lower arm. So now you have the arms formed. Now again, this is a little bit out of order of what the instruction sheet says, but I found it easier to do it this way. So then you can go on and form the hands. So what you want to do there is just pull this piece out, and then you can flip the hands and then close the piece, and then again do it on the side as well. And then you can pull his feet forward, and he's got the back part of the feet that's closed in, so you want to pull those out so the full foot is formed. Okay, so at this point the main thing you want to make sure is you want to make sure that these lower pieces on the hood are folded in. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to take this back piece, and it's going to form the backpack. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to take these orange pieces here at the top, and you want to fold them down. And then you're going to take these side pieces with the exhaust, and you're going to fold them in. And they should just click into place. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this back piece here, and you're going to move this piece with the windshield, and it's going to fold up, and it should click in. There's a hole here, and it should click in here, and you want to make sure you line it up right, and it'll click into place, and then you just kind of fold this in. Now you want to make sure at this point you want to make sure that these shoulder pieces on the arm, what they're going to do is they're going to attach here on the sides of this backpack piece to secure it. And again, this one, you want to make sure these side pieces here on the hood are folded in so that the shoulder piece goes over them. And then you can push these pieces, if they've popped back up, you can push these pieces down and they should click into place. And then basically finally you just want to turn this fin piece so it's facing upwards. And then you have these, as I said, these are like jet thrusters for a jet backpack or something that are kind of popped out. And the final thing you want to do with this back piece is there's two little clips here on the bottom, and there's two little holes, and you want to make sure you match them up and plug them in, and that'll secure it. So here's a look at Hot Rod in his robot mode, and I think this looks pretty nice, pretty true to what we saw in the cartoon and everything. I like the blasters on the side. I like the Autobot symbol with the flame on his chest. That all looks really good. I like the head sculpt with this one. I think that looks good. I think it looks pretty good from the back and from the side. The only thing I don't really like is I don't like these seams here on his between his chest and his shoulder. This piece here, for some reason, series, and it kind of looks like broken plastic to me, the way it looks. So I just don't like that scene too much. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. So the figure has a number of features. So as I had mentioned or showed you before, he's got this saw blade that you see him use in Transformers the movie, and this is done with a kind of that purple plastic for the handle, and then the blade itself is done with metallic silver, and then the middle part of the blade is done with an almost translucent type plastic or semi-translucent type plastic. And so basically the way it works is you've got a hole here on this, and so what you want to do is you just want to pop this piece of plastic, open it up, and then push the hand in, and then you'll see this knob, and then you just plug in the saw blade. And so just like he had in Transformers the movie, you can basically recreate that scene, assuming you have some kind of robot vine somewhere that you can use. And the blade does move. You can spin it. Now the blade itself doesn't really look sharp. They didn't make the blade look very sharp, but it does look pretty true to what we saw in the movie and everything. You can put the blade on either hand. Both hands have the little knob when you push them in, so you can put it on either hand. They've also given you this fishing rod. So at the beginning of Transformers the movie, Hot Rod's hanging out with Daniel as they're waiting for the shuttle to arrive, and they're fishing. And so both Hot Rod and Daniel have fishing rods, and so they've given you this big giant fishing rod that he can hold, and it's just basically a piece of plastic, and you just kind of wedge it in between his hand and his thumb. Now they've made it so I'm assuming they've done this so you can put it in either hand, so you can take the spinner part with the handle, and you can basically, it's removable, and so you can have the handle pointing out either side, so basically you can have him hold the rod in either hand. There's no string on the rod, it's just a piece of plastic, gray piece of plastic, and it does kind of bend a little bit here towards the top. And if you've got the little Daniel figure that came, I think it was with Ultra Magnus, then you can kind of again recreate that scene, even though technically Daniel doesn't have a fishing rod. And finally, he has the two blasters, and both blasters look a little bit different. Again, I don't know why they gave him two, since I don't recall him using two in the cartoon, though like I said, maybe they changed the way they looked during the course of the cartoon or something. But either way, they call them photon blasters, and they've given him two. And this one, this one looks, I think, more what I recall seeing in the cartoon. And basically, you've got, just like with all the Transformers, you got the little peg on the handle, and you just kind of you got the little slit in the hand, and you just kind of wedge it in there, and it'll hold it. And so even though, like I said, I don't recall him using two blasters at the same time in the cartoon, if you want to give him two blasters, you can. Hot Rod also has a couple extra features. So in the scene in the movie where he's looking at the shuttle, and he pulls down these little telescopic goggles or something, binoculars or something, you can recreate that. So you've got this little piece, you just pull up the top part of the head, and you pull out this piece and put it over his eyes, and then you close the head. So this basically so he can get a closer look at the shuttle and see there's a hole blasted, and see Starscream sitting in the shuttle. Finally, Hot Rod has a place in his chest to store the Matrix, so you can pull open this outer chest piece, and you can see there's an opening here for the Matrix. Now it's made to hold the one that comes with the MP Optimus Prime, the second MP Optimus Prime, as opposed to the smaller one that came with the MP Rodimus Prime. But it does fit nice and tight in there, and then once you put it in there, you can close up his chest. He'll only actually grow into Rodimus Prime if you have that MP Rodimus Prime that was previously released. So Hot Rod in his robot mode measures about 7 1/4 inches tall if you count to the tip of his head. If you count to the tip of his fin on his back, then he is about 7 1/2 inches tall. And here's a comparison with the MP Sideswipe in robot mode, and you can see Hot Rod is a bit taller. Now I don't really recall what size Hot Rod was compared to the other regular Autobots, so I'm not really sure if the scale is that accurate or not. Here's a comparison with a few other MP Autobots. So the MP Ultra Magnus, which is definitely taller, and the MP Ironhide, which is a little bit taller than Hot Rod. Finally, here's a comparison with the Masterpiece Rodimus Prime that they released. This is the first release of Rodimus Prime they did, which you can see is taller. And then also, just to give you a comparison with a third-party Transformer, the Tyrant Galvatron figure that's been released. Articulation on this one is pretty good. You can turn the head to the left and the right. He can look down a little bit, and he can look up really good. So good movement with the head. Arms, you got rotation, and you can get the arm out pretty good. You can also kind of do the arm forward like that with the transformation. He's got, he can basically look down at the midsection, which is nice. He's also got a waist swivel, and he can't really look back at the waist section. Legs you can get out pretty good, so he can do the splits good. He can do his leg forward pretty good, and he can get his leg back pretty good. Oh, and then on the arms, you've got rotation there, kind of a bicep swivel, and then you've got really good bending at the elbow, and you've got the swivels at the wrist. And you can kind of, you know, with the transformation, you can move the hands forward and back a bit. He's got good bending at the knee, basically a double jointed knee, and then he's got some, basically he can do his feet back and forward. Really doesn't have any, little bit of pivot, but not, I really wouldn't call it pivot. You can kind of do it back and forth, but these plastic pieces come down far enough that it really kind of limits the pivot movement there. So that's my review. Overall, I would say if you're a fan of Hot Rod, I think this is one you'll definitely want to add to your collection. The detail is nice, looks very true to what we see in the cartoon and everything. I like the accessories and the features and everything. All of that looks good. I would say for the most part the size of it's pretty good. It may not be 100% accurate, but I think it's pretty close. So again, if you're a fan of the character, I think this is one you'll definitely want to add to your collection. So this figure has been released. You can pick it up online at places like Big Bad Toy Store. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There's a link in the description below. And as always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.